Put it out of your mind. We've got the drummer right here. Ray and Chad are signing him as we speak. You see, things are moving along just fine. You'll have your band, with plenty of time to spare before the debut party you've arranged.
Oh shit! They announced a release date already? Huh. Oh.
I don't know.
And it's PlayStation Plus at launch? Ugh.
You worry too much.
They can't seem to make any right decisions with this game whatsoever, can they? Well, let's not forsake the iron while it's freezing cold. Should I explain myself a little bit about what I mean in the end of that opening skit? Well, I think it's relatively self-explanatory when you really think about it. FoamStars is really one of those games that kind of has really left the collective mind palaces of everyone after its beta had dropped, leaving most people kind of being like, either they find out that they're interested in it or they're not, which unfortunately a lot of people was not for the case. In fact, if you listen to a Splatoon user, you think that it was the worst thing in the world, but really it wasn't. And again, you did not think about FoamStars again after the beta dropped. And then they dropped a recent trailer, announced it, gave it a release date, announced it for PlayStation Plus, and then announced the use of AI art. That was a 1-2 punch, and holy shit, this game was doomed. And that's kind of funny to me, because in my old scripts for this video that I've been procrastinating on for way too long, which is one of the reasons why I still have FoamStar even in my mind at all, while most have forgotten about it, is that it's not really a bad game. Unfortunately, it's a game littered with frustrations that I will admit more than that kind of fucked with me in a lot of ways. Like, I think the map design in this game is pretty poor. I think the game modes that what's available, well, leaving me a little bit hopeful, are much to be desired. Kill the Star reminds me of, for example, Kill the... Wait, no, it's not Kill the Star. It was like, oh, yeah, it was called Smash the Star. What that was, it reminded me a little bit of this multiplayer mode in Kid Icarus Uprising, a mode that I had a lot of fun with, and that was pretty cool. And then there was Happy Bath Battle. Happy Bath, whatever the fuck it was called. It'll show up on screen, but there was that, and that kind of showed me they had ideas of they wanted to do a bit more. And then they announced the third one in the official trailer, which kind of left me a bit more hopeful they were experimenting, but honestly, God, the map design of Happy Bath of what they had kind of was not good. In fact, I think it is a lot of solid ideas that kind of aren't fully realized. I kind of feel like what's really holding back this game, honestly, is its own concept of foam. As it's a very complicated thing that kind of is not easy. It's not like Splatoon's paint, which is just simple of like, oh, it just covers your ground and your color, and it's simple as that. Foam actually has, volume. It goes up. It makes shapes. It does all kinds of things. And I kind of think, ironically, it got in the way a lot of times, more times than not, and to an almost a kind of frustrating degree. Like, mobility took way too long for me to kind of fully grasp of what the whole point of it was. And I won't show in the gameplay because, like, it was the fact I post after I figure things out. But the thing is that mobility is kind of a bit hard to figure out, especially trying to get through foam, because if you have ally foam, enemy foam, you can get rid of a pillar right away. Ally foam, though, it takes a while to get over. It's just that small little detail, which is part of the main gimmick that makes FoamStars, FoamStars, kind of gets in its way. Like, trying to figure out movement is a bit of something that I feel the tutorial does a poor job of explaining, because it's a little more complicated than it lets on to be. And then let's not also get to the fact it's also a hero shooter, which is a very odd choice to me. When I first saw the trailers of this game, I wasn't that big on the designs. I just thought this was going to be like Splatoon, where like you could make your own custom character, which is why I was more accepting of those characters they showed up. Because like, oh, you'll be able to customize your character like Splatoon, right? And it's like, no, it's a hero shooter, which is a very odd choice, but I won't say it's a terrible choice. I think a lot of the heroes are very varied in what they want to do. The problem is I feel like which ones are good and which ones are bad are going to be set real quickly, which is a very bad thing. So, that's a problem. Like they're like for example, I think top of my head, Penguin and I believe let's see, it was Penguin and Toxic. Those two kind of showed up every single match. And in a 14 battle, that's like half your team half the time. And maybe third the time it would be fucking Sonya, and maybe like the other time it would either be Breastador or Ravebreaker, because those two are kind of interchangeable a little bit. And what they can do is at the same kind of like default weapon. But like it's kind of like a lot of stuff that kind of falls into a lot of problems and issues. Like it's a number of mistakes of feels like different mistakes keep piling up on each other, I guess is what I'm getting at. Is that they have some good ideas, but then they kind of other stuff pile up more and more, a number of issues that kind of just aren't really thought out that very well. Like, I think when it comes to the poor map design, for example, the casino was, well, for one thing, the maps are too fucking small, which doesn't help. And then the casino has this rolling ball that travels across the whole map that kind of gets in the way more than serves as a way for the player to, you know, it's used more intrusive than it probably should be. And I think that kind of leads into sort of a lot of other problems I kind of feel. And I don't know, it's just like, and I don't know, the art design's kind of not great either. Like, that's another thing about it. I'm all over the place, I know, but like, I've been working on this for too long. And I'm just freeforming about this point because I'm tired of just trying to make a script and not come off as angry. But really, it's just a very flawed game with a lot of mistakes to it that I was originally hopeful for. Like, I will say this now, despite how negative my old scripts were, I was very positive towards its future. Because I still found a very fun game there. I mean, it was a fun C-grade game that you'd probably find for like 20 or 30, but you'd probably find for like 10 to 15 bucks maybe. That would be like a fun afternoon for friends. Like, that was the type of shit it was probably going to end up being. But then they kind of ruined that opportunity by announcing some AI art stuff, which I think the excuses they gave was like, oh, it's only for like obscure music albums, where it's like, I'm sorry, the art design in this game kind of isn't great. So it's like, I don't believe that was the only use of AI art in this game. And the fact is that they released it for PlayStation Plus kind of shows me that they don't have a lot of faith in this game. But that also implies they were going to charge money for this game too, which is, I mean, a better sign that this game's going to last longer. But also, man, you guys really did not do it. I am really curious what the fuck they're going to do for a single player if there's one at all. Because if there's no single player content, then what's the fucking point, man? I'm curious about the price point. The reason why they gave it away for free is probably a real sticking point. So, yeah, they just keep making all the wrong choices with this game that I think could be a very fun and competent game with some extra forethought that they clearly did not have. I don't want to be dismissive of this game. I originally did not want to be, but honestly, God, with this recent AR bullshit, I kind of feels like we have no choice but to let this game fail because, well, they're trying to charge too much for something that should have been that's going to be like $5 in a year. I don't know. FoamStars, I have no hope for your future. You're going to maybe last a year, maybe, but if I look at that price tag and it's like almost like $50, then your goose is cooked, man. Holy shit. I don't know. Maybe I will not be proved wrong, but frankly, because of that, again, that AI stuff, it's not gonna end well. So this is goodbye, FoamStars. I would say I missed you, but that means I would have had any big affection for you, which I don't. At best, really, I thought you had potential, but I don't think you're gonna reach it. Also, one more thing. I forgot to mention this during my whole rambling because it was a positive point and I was in negative mode. But here's my final positive point, as well as the true send-off to this video. The music of FoamStars is pretty cool. I like it pretty well enough. If Square released it on streaming platforms, I'd probably put it to my listening rotation. It is not stuff that I'd probably fall in love with, but like I'd be more fine listening to again. You know, they're cool. They're nifty. Okay, I'm done now. Bye.